Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the channel. I am aTone. This is aTone Tarot. Cancer, I'm here to deliver messages from your future self, higher self, and your younger self. So, Cancer, let's go ahead and get up into this message. If you could, please go ahead, smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, if it don't apply, let it fly, Cancer. Take only what resonates and leave the rest. So we are going to tap into the message from, excuse me, Cancer, I'm getting over a cold. We're going to tap into the message from your future self via the Kipper. I'll then move on to the tarot, pulling 10 cards from that to find out what your younger self needs to know. And I'll close you out with my inner wisdom deck with your message from your future self. So thank you so much for the new viewers joining me today. Returning viewers, welcome back. I greatly appreciate you guys. But let's get up into this message and find out what is the future. What does your future self want you to know, Cancer? Your future self wants you to know what? All right, Cancer, let's get up into this message. You receive toil and labor, community, main male, mature woman in reverse, bad health. All right, Cancer. So as it relates to the message from your future self, it's basically giving a labor of love that you are putting in for someone, maybe in vain when it's all said and done. I hate to say it, but someone is not appreciating you the way that you may like. So when you start down the path of this thing, you have good intentions, Cancer, as it relates to taking care of a family or an elder, a couple of family members. You might have signed on to be someone's home health aide for some of you. A sibling may be involved, may have talked you into something, Cancer. So your future self wants you to know that something that you are about to embark on as it relates to family or your friends, it may not be worth the trouble that you're going to lend towards this thing as it relates to the amount of effort and energy you put into this. Yeah, you're going to be working hard and not getting back what you feel as though you deserve, Cancer. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. So make sure, too, that your intent is correct, too, right? And again, take it how it resonates. But this is given, you know how people like to promote their charity works online, but sometimes it can be seen as disrespectful to the person that they're helping. You turn a camera on to show the world that you're helping me, makes it seem like your assistance isn't truly genuine, or someone could be doing that to you, Cancer, where you are in a tight spot right now and someone is behaving very immaturely with you, right? Like you need help and they are making you hop through hoops, or they will. So if you are accepting assistance from a person or people in your family or in your friend group, be careful about that, because someone may surprise you with how they handle this assistance. This is giving someone tying strings to you for their own benefit. Very immature gossip energy. Yeah. And with bad health being here and that mature woman being in reverse, to me, that is toxic gossip energy. And it may even be behind a relationship or someone thinking that you want their significant other, Cancer. This is definitely given a blended family, and somebody feels intimidated, but they're very immature. And you, Cancer, may be putting in a lot of work to try to sustain a relationship with someone who is just very immature and is not going to grow. If you're wondering if this person is going to grow up and see the error in their ways with bad health being here, it does not look like it, Cancer. So this is confirmation that your future self is telling you, throw in the towel, cut your losses, because someone that you and maybe even your friends and family have been backing you to try to even support this person while they are down on their luck is not worth it. It's just it becomes a long, drawn out nothing, right? This is also given, like, you know how you let someone come live with you until they can get on their feet, find a job, a whole year goes by and they still on your couch? Yeah, it's giving that energy. Be careful who you help, Cancer, because you might wind up tying yourself to someone in their bad karma as well. So learn how to say no respectfully, or just no. No is a complete sentence, Cancer, is the message from your future self. But we are moving on to find out, what does your younger self want you to know? Let's find out what your younger self wants you to know. I will be pulling 10 cards from the tarot to find out, what does that young Krabby Patty of a Cancer, when you were a young crab, a little dot on the seashore, Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's find out. I'll pull 10 cards. Your younger self is still there, but that voice is so hard to hear as we get older, right? Fears creep in through trauma, through failures, through a lot of things, and the voice just becomes smaller and smaller. I don't do cards that fall on the floor, Cancer. I will shuffle it back in to see if it comes back out, though. Too many cards. What's going on, Cancer? A lot of my young Cancers were very observant. Very observant. Quiet. You knew how to stay out the way. You might have heard a lot of arguments, yeah, between your parents, and it caused stress for you. Yeah. My Cancers have been through quite a bit in their childhood. All right, Cancer. So you receive the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the 5 of Coins, the Page of Swords, the 8 of Cups in reverse, the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, Death in reverse, the 2 of Wands, and the Fool. All right, Cancer. Let's get up into this message, because your younger self has a very heavy message attached to it. So I'll just say that. I hope I'm not triggering anyone. My Cancers, went through a lot in their childhood. And some of that has those traumas that you endured and even observed of people in your family. For some of you, it might not have been you. You watched a parent or parents go through hardship, go through struggle, being evicted, being lost, being like, there's been quite a bit of things that my cancers have survived, right? And there are also some things that continue to creep back up into your adult life from your childhood as it relates to you blaming yourself, Cancer. Your younger self wants you to make plans on returning to that carefree, uh, fearless individual that you once were when you were very young, before the traumas, before you saw, before your eyes took in certain traumas and issues and separation and loss, before you experienced that and you began to break these things down mentally in your mind. And for some of my cancers, you drew conclusions around relationships. You drew conclusions around relationships that as a young age that caused you in adulthood to carry those things, as we all do, but in a very incorrect way. I'm picking up on a Cancer collective who feels miseducated as it relates to love. You're really wanting to unlearn everything you knew about love because part of you feels as though your current relationship status and the state that it's in, which doesn't feel like it's so pleasant right now, stems from childhood things that you went through. Like I'm picking up on some cancers as children, you may not have had a lot of food. It was a lot of children or a lot of mouths that needed to be fed, and there were food deficiencies in your home. And as a result, as an adult, you made sure you ate everything on the plate, and you could have developed an eating disorder. That's just an example. So for those of you who internalized and saw loss or lack in your childhood, you need to be aware of those things because my adult cancers may not realize how traumatizing their past was as an adult. You may look at your adulthood and be like, oh no, I had a great childhood. When really, Cancer, it probably was not as good as you are being honest with yourself about. It wasn't as good as you are saying it is, right? You are one who probably doesn't complain much, right? Didn't need much. You saw your parents or parent, if you didn't have a two-parent household, struggling. And because you went without, you feel as though now as an adult, it's made you stronger. What's wrong with that? I ain't nothing wrong with me. I didn't go without. I had enough. I'm still here. Those types of sound bites and mantras are what my Cancer is saying, which that has truth. All of those things may have some truth, Cancer. However, you need to give some attention to the how serious you became as a result of the lack and loss that you experienced at a young age. So because you went without, a lot of you might have went and got a job at an early age, started working and have been working and gainfully employed since a very young age, like 15, with very little breaks. And it's starting to maybe wear on you and you don't even realize it yet, Cancer, that you've been providing and strong and having to have all the right answers and do the right thing and be so mature for so long. You're starting to realize that maybe you need to unlearn that and start over, because you do not feel as though you got as far in life as you would have, being as serious as you have been, making the sacrifices that you have made. You look now at your life and feel as though I should be further along. Well, your younger self wants you to know you will be further along once you plan to be carefree, have faith, step out on faith, and not be so serious all the time, Cancer. So that is the message from your younger self. I am moving on to close out your message with this inner wisdom deck from the message from your higher self. And if you haven't done so already, would you please go ahead, smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Your girl would greatly appreciate that. All right, let's see, Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Your higher self. What is the message from your higher self? Your higher self represents the subconscious, your intuition. Yeah. When you vibrating high and you're at your best, you can generate and manifest quite a few things, Cancer. So let's see. 5 cards, please. 5 cards. Oh man, I'm gonna take this card because I don't do cards that fall on the floor. I'm gonna stick to that because it will go on the table and then it fell. So I'm gonna shuffle it back in and see if it come back out, Cancer. Let's see. I'm just dropping all y'all cards. Apologies, Cancer. Let's see. All right, and it came back out. This one did. Okay, Cancer. You receive get help, laughter. Be realistic, be here now, and self-centered. So, I can't make this up, Cancer. Your higher self even wants you to be a little less serious, with laughter being help. Here, if you don't know how, get help. I know you know some friends, family members who just are very carefree. Even your children, if you have children, children are the best ones to tap into as it relates to helping you enter into a carefree attitude and energy. Because you need to be realistic about this, right? And your higher self is like, look, Cancer is who they are. They might as well have been a fixed sign, in my opinion, because a Cancer, when they want to do something, they will, and when they don't want to do something, they not. So it's pretty cut and dry with a Cancer. So all of this, be free and light, if that's not how you have been and conditioning has taken place for so long, you may need to tackle this thing piece by piece. in small individual pieces. No one is expecting you, Cancer, to flip a switch and become this new individual, right? But with self-centered being here, your higher self wants you to know that you have what you need inside of you to make this happen, right? You have what it takes. You have what it takes, and you need to get away from your own thought process as validating what is right and what is wrong, Cancer. You need to speak to other people around you. Your higher self wants you to get out of your head. In your previous spread, you had a lot of swords. The swords represent the mind. So get out of your head, get assistance. This self-centered card being here, you have what it takes inside of you, yes, but you also have resources around you to help this thing grow as it relates to your attitude, your energy, becoming lighter, learning how to be present in the moment and not 2 weeks ahead because you need your day. Because you need your life planned out to that level of detail, Cancer. So learn how to be present, learn how to laugh. Your higher self wants you to laugh more. And for some of you, it's the opposite, right? Where you're masking an issue through laughter. Yeah, you're using laughter to hide when you actually need help with something, emotionally speaking, Cancer. Learning how to be present. Yeah, and really getting outside of your head. You should not be validating your own thoughts. You should not be validating everything through your own thoughts, Cancer. You need to bounce things off of people that you trust sometimes. Do some research. Consult with experts. Yeah, because this is giving a bit of a God complex, Cancer. So be careful of that. If you are so detached from other people and dismissive. I'm picking up on Cancer Collective who is looking down their nose at others because you grew up early. You didn't do these things and those things at your house. And it was a very presumptuous air and attitude in even the previous spread. But there was also a lot of anxiety, judgment there, right? Cancer. So yes, things might have been squeaky clean and perfect, but that's not how the world operates. And you're coming to find that you need to expand out, branch out a little bit more outside of your own thoughts and what you believe to be true. So that is your message. I hope that it helps. And until next time, peace.